Hey everybody, welcome to JD Live. And if you can't figure out what that means, it means John and David Live over here on the Let's Talk Movies podcast with John and David YouTube channel, but it's also streaming over on Let's Talk Entertainment and Media. But of course, we would really appreciate it if you went over there and subscribe to our YouTube channel that we do together. Right, David?
Yes, that's right, John. How's it going, everybody? So I'm just putting this up on my own wee phone here so I can see the comments if there's anybody on.
Yeah, see, hopefully people get in here and see what we're doing.
Yeah,
Uh,
let me
you know,
see.
it should be up now and everything. So hopefully people could see what we're doing. It says we're live, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's us.
All right, so good. So we'll be
Perfect.
talking some Arrow video here today.
Yes, Arrow Video, John. One of my favorite boutique labels. Actually, my favorite boutique label. Probably the first real boutique label that I really started getting into.
Oh, really? Yeah, I would say, like, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, what are the top boutique labels? Like, I don't know if you collect from the Criterion Collection, but they've always been my favorite. But them and Arrow Video are one, two, and then over here in the United States, we also have Shout Factory. But
Yeah,
Shout Factory has really fallen off a lot lately, and definitely not in the top 10 anymore.
yeah. Well, I've been aware of Criterion. They've been about for decades, but they always seem to do kind of like real artsy fartsy movies sometimes.
Yeah, that's what Criterion mostly does. Like, not really a ton of mainstream stuff, but I do like that kind of stuff. I like to dabble in the highbrow and the lowbrow.
Well, actually, I have Night of the Living Dead, which Criterion done on Blu-ray a few years ago. A very nice set that they did of that movie. But what actually uh, intrigued me about Arrow was the very first one I ever bought was American Werewolf in London, and it was coming out with this the nice, as you call it, what do you call that? Morbidly obese box set, John.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a weight problem.
Yeah, and it has the booklet and it has the poster and all that business. And that was the very first Arrow video that I bought. Now, whenever it was released, I don't know how long ago that was now when that came out.
I want to say I was working on my last job, so it's like got to be like 2021. No, it was. I still have this channel, so
Before
20.
then, it was
Yeah,
it was it was before then. It must be like 2018, maybe 2019.
Jesus, wow, it's
It
been
would
a
ha-
while, huh?
it would have to have been, because I moved into this house 2000 2021, and I had already started collecting Arrow by then.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the first actual Arrow video release I got was. I wasn't really like collecting, like going after the big fat boxes for a while, but eventually I did come around on them. So like I got a few like Tremors I just got on 4K without the fat box, and the
Yeah,
same thing with Django. I missed out on those, and then I came around and collected them. But we are getting some comments, so say hello to everybody. Mr. Smelly
yeah.
Potatoes here. Cowabunga dude, what's up? Good afternoon from Jeff, John Doe Juggalo. What's up, man? Glad you could pop in here. And the Icelandic Psycho, what's up, yo? Nice to see you in a good Icelandic time. Huh? Well, we try and accommodate David because he lives in Ireland. That's my favorite physical media company. So, I guess you're a little bit in between us. I don't know how many hours you are ahead. I don't know exactly what Iceland's time is right now, but I know it's after 8 o'clock over there, right, David?
Yeah, so it's 24 minutes past 8 here at the moment. Of course, your clock's sprung forward at the weekend, John. We've got to wait till the end of the month.
Ah, okay, yeah. They want to screw up my whole week by doing that.
Yeah, so there's a 4 hour difference between me and yourself at the moment. But yes, how's it going, everybody?
Same time here in Iceland. So okay, so it's the same
There
time
we
as
go.
you. There, you guys are on the same time zone. So yeah,
Yeah,
I know when I do my regular live shows, it's 2 hours later and it screws up everybody.
yeah. Usually I'm in bed listening to it and then I fall asleep.
Mhm. Go to sleep to the soothing sounds of my voice.
John, you remind me of the woman from The Fog.
I'm not as pretty, but thank you.
I know. Yeah, just the voice, the soothing sounds.
I'm gonna paste our link in the comments to our YouTube channel for the people coming over from mine. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, here it is in the comments. Uh,
Yeah,
because we're trying to get people to come over to ours and check out what we usually do. Like, we're talking physical media today, which is something that I do usually on my channel. But David and I, we concentrate more on movies in general. So this is like a special
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, our channel, obviously, we want to talk more about the actual movies than about what's being released. But, we just kind of thought maybe for our first official one to do on this channel, the Let's Talk Movies podcast, we could talk about Arrow and our passion for Arrow, because part of being a movie fan, I believe, is collecting the movies that you enjoy. And it's became a real kind of niche thing to do in 2026, or in the last 5 years or so. I feel as if it's became a real specialized thing for cinephiles to collect
Thank you, Faith.
their favorite movies on physical media. So we thought it was important to kind of talk about that, and it's something that I have a passion for. It's something that John has a passion for. When we do the Let's Talk Movies podcast, for the most part, I'm in my man cave, and as you see, John's in his man cave with his collection there. So
Mhm.
that's why we thought it would be interesting to do this. And look, if it's popular, we're thinking of maybe making this like a quarterly thing where we can talk about, well, at the minute we're talking about Arrow. Maybe it'll be about another boutique label. Maybe it'll just be about physical media in general, but just about the releases coming up, possibly what we've got in pre-order and stuff like that. Stuff we're excited about.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is fun. Like, and then we'll get people here who want to talk physical media. But on our channel, it is definitely the movies first. So, and this question is, I know it won't be an hour release, but can anyone tell me when the right stuff will be released on 4K? It's my favorite film, and I still can't believe it didn't get one for the 4th anniversary. Yeah, I heard rumors of that, but I don't know for sure if that's when that's coming. I think you have this one, David, right? Dressed to Kill on 4K.
Yeah, I do. So what actually happened was, when I started buying like the fat boxes, because they were kind of like, to me, they're the type of releases that get me excited, when you get like, a load of special features, not so much in the lobby cards or anything like that, but like getting the poster with the alternative artwork, and if you get a booklet and things like that, that gets me excited about buying a release. It makes it feel special. So I ended up buying, I think I bought American Werewolf from London. I bought The Thing um on Blu-ray. This is Blu-ray now. This is before I was even into 4K. And then eventually, then as when they have their sale, they usually have a sale around Easter time. I was able to get a load on cheap, a load of these like B movie horror movies that I'd never heard of before or seen before. Just to check them out. And there's some gems in there, like, like Horror Express and Slugs, and the Mutilator. I think I talked about that one before. But yes, Dress to Kill was one that I did pick up. I think it was on its initial Blu-ray release, but not they later released it in 4K, but I haven't picked the 4K up.
So it's interesting that you said that, because that's going to be the difference in our regions, is that Dress to Kill was in the United States was released by Kino Lorber, and that's the 4K I
Yeah.
have for Dress to Kill. And same thing with The Thing. The Thing is a universal 4K Blu-ray release over here. Love B movies. That's one thing that Arrow Video does. Like, there's a certain style to Arrow Video compared to like Criterion, like David was saying. Like, more of a art kind of like cinema will come from Criterion. You'll get some stuff mainstream, of course, but like, there's movies that like maybe like a director, but like a more of their unknown work will come from them. Whereas Arrow, I feel like kind of sticks in between to both. Oh, thank you. So I feel like they kind of stick in between, like, they'll give us some mainstream stuff while also giving us a lot of those B horror movies that not a lot of people might have actually checked out as well.
Yeah, because the Arrow Video actually deals more, I think, in like the horror side of things, doesn't it? Well, it was, but because they've got like sub labels, they've Arrow Video, then they've Arrow. There's other collections, but I prefer to stick more with the Arrow Video. But what I actually like about Arrow Video in recent years is they're starting to go down the road of, say, action movies, and, as you say, more mainstream. I believe they have a license with Warner Brothers, so they're releasing like real kind of notable Warner Brothers titles. I mean, they even released like Carlito's Way, Deep Blue Sea, movies like that, and then they've started to move into westerns as well. They've released The Shootist, and they've released the Dollars trilogy as well.
Yeah, they have like these kind of like partnerships. Like right now, like their Warner Brothers partnership is mostly with New Line, which is cool because when we talk about like what we're gonna like our anticipated, I got New Line on the mind, but that's how we ended up with The Mask on
Yeah.
4K, and how we also got what's it called on 4K that I really like, Spawn on 4K, and that's why the rumor always pops up about when are we gonna get freaking Mortal Kombat, because that was all New Line cinema from that time.
Yeah, look, me and you have talked about this loads of times, and I suppose we want to get at this later on when we're doing our waste list and stuff like that. But I've already said to you, like on several occasions, oh, I hope they do Batman. I really want them to do Batman. And you're like, there's no way they're going to do that because it's too popular. And I'm like, yeah, but John, when the Warner Brothers eventually just say, look, we've done it so many times, we'll let you do it this once.
Well, I always say, like, with half these studios like that just do not care and they just put it out, like Boogie Nights on 4K Blu-ray, like Warner Brothers put it out. I'm like, if you weren't going to give it which is New Line, if you weren't going to give it the proper love, why not just put it out to a sub label and let them do the work, and then you just kick back on the. But they, they're greedy. They're all greedy motherfuckers, and they want to have 100% full, full profits, which really just, obviously they don't care about us when they do things like that.
Exactly. That's why I thought about it as well. I mean, they've done, for take Batman as an example, right? Very popular movie, but the Warner Brothers have done it like how many times now? Have Warner Brothers done it? Like 4 or 5 times. Like, and they haven't added anything to it since 2005. When they done
Nope.
DVD, as in special features. They've remastered it for 4K, but that's it really. And if they're not going to invest any more in it, then why don't they just say, if say for example RO did float it to them, why don't they just say, go ahead, do it this once. You can license it for a year or for 6 months, and let them do, the proper original poster with it, and a new alternative poster with a booklet, and maybe all the special features all in the old discs. You can't have that, but if they want to go out and do their own, because as I say, it's been 20 years, over 20 years since them special features been updated. I know they done like a Diamond release, which had a new documentary on it, but that's the only time you've seen that documentary about Batman. I think it's called like the Modern Blockbuster or something like that, or creating the modern, or birthing the modern blockbuster. You can watch it on YouTube, but it's not on any other release since then. It's on that one release of Warner Brothers. And I didn't pick it up because I didn't think it was worth it at the time. I was like, I'm not paying. It was expensive for that Diamond release, and I thought I'm not paying that just for this half-an-hour documentary. It's a really good documentary, but I wasn't paying it. I was hoping it'll be released again, but it didn't. They didn't do it. So those are the type of things that I hope. Well, that's the stuff. That's one thing we can get to them later on, maybe about like the CRO attempt to do.
Well, it's funny. You led me right into something I wanted to show everyone. Speaking of Batman, I got something right here I wanted to show everyone. David and I, every year, we give each other Christmas gifts. We're friends outside of the channel. And I got David It's a Wonderful Life. But David got me something. And I wanted to show you guys what I actually had done with it from Batman 89. I got this framed. I don't know if you guys could see it. But David bought me stuff from Batman 89, some film stuff. And I had to have it framed. And then
brilliant.
I'll find a place for it in the background.
So it's hard to tell on my dark screen. What color? It was the felt. Did you get the purple felt behind it, John?
No, they didn't have purple felt, but I got black on black. But I think it does pop that way.
Yeah, listen, you obviously went to professional framers there.
I took your advice. Yeah, you told me to do that, which David thought I was crazy. I didn't know people did that, guys. I'm a sheltered human being who comes from a white trash family who would never do something like this.
Listen, that looks excellent, mate. That's going to look amazing up on the wall. And like when I was getting you that, I was like, when I was looking for it, I was like, you know what? I want them myself, and I bought myself a copy, so I really need to get mine framed as well on the wall too. But that looks excellent. They done a great job there, mate.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh, look, George is here. I was expecting Batman Speedos. Yeah, I wish he would have got me a Batman Speedo. I would absolutely would.
George, that's next Christmas.
Exactly. Put a purple LED. That would actually be awesome too. I didn't even think of that.
even just above it or something, if you had a wee light just sitting above it.
Yeah, just to show it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to hang that up. I should get the rights to Napoleon Dynamite for 4K because it's a Disney property, and Disney will never. Well, that's why we'll never get it, because Disney is another one of those companies that hold their movies hostage, unfortunately. Yeah. And then it's really got an arrow of Brian De Palma releases and the House Series B movie horror awesomeness. I think you have the House series, right?
I did. Well, that's what I was saying about Arrow when you see. I missed out on a lot of things with Arrow. That's why I like when they come around again and do the 4Ks, which is why I didn't buy Dress to Kill again on 4K, because like I watched Dress to Kill, I really like it, but how often do I watch it? I don't watch it that often. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like for example, if I miss out on something and I like Silence of the Lambs came out in 4K, I bought that one. But what happened was that when they do a sale, they had like the house box set on sale just with the movies. And I was able to buy the full box set because I got it on a sale. The same with like the Phantasm movies like that I've never seen before, but you can get them really cheap on sale for about £25 for like 8 movies, so you may as well.
Yeah, might as well dabble in it, right?
Yeah, and the presentation looks so good, and it looks so good on the shelf as well.
Yeah. So well, that's the thing about Arrow, and you can see all my Arrow collection right there behind me. That's all of them right there, and I love how they look on the shelf. That's one thing I love about Arrow Video is like the way they pay attention to packaging. And
Yeah.
I think you brought over some of the stuff you've bought this year. I've only bought one thing from Arrow. I have stuff pre-ordered, which we'll get into in a second, but I only bought Miss 45 on 4K Blu-ray, which actually Mr. Smelly Potatoes here, that was a channel review for him. And since the 4K was out, why not? Win in Rome.
Yeah. Well, yes, I did. I brought in I have a load. We'll get to the pre-orders next, John, but I have a load on pre-order. I say a load, I have a few in pre-order. And these two had actually one of the ones I pre-ordered came today, funny enough. And then a couple of weeks ago, I bought this one. It's another one which I bought, which is a blind buy, which I'd never seen before because I got a wee bit of FOMO. I was seeing reviews online, and I was like, you know what, if I miss out on this and it sells out, I'll be kicking myself. So we'll start with that one first, which I bought because I didn't want to miss out on, which is Excalibur.
Yeah, that's a big release this year that everyone was asking me if I was going to review, and I'm not the world's biggest Excalibur fan, so FOMO didn't get the better of me with that. But I did get like all the reviews out there were saying how good it looked, and I'm like, oh, maybe.
See, the early reviews come in, and then I was kind of like, because when it was first advertised, me and you had talked about it, and you had said to me, "Oh, I suppose I'm going to get it." And I said, "I've never seen it." You were like, "I haven't seen it." I says, "No." So then, Christmas comes along, and you've other things to pay for, and then the new year comes around, and then I'm seeing these reviews, and I thought the same. I thought, you know what? What if I miss out on this? What if it's really good? So I had to get it in the new year to get rid of those New Year blues. As you can see, the label's still on it. I haven't even opened it yet. So I will get round to the damage the corner in the post it gets, but it'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be in that way. You won't see it, but I'll get round to giving that a watch. But that's a really nice addition, mate, because it's got like it's three discs. You have the 4K, and then you have two bonus discs.
See, that's another thing that when you buy from a boutique label that I love compared to when you buy right from the studio is the attention to the special features. That unfortunately that used to be the big thing when you were VHS and so was I. People might not remember VHS. I'm sure people in here do, but VHS didn't have special features. But when DVD came around, that's when you got the documentaries, all the interviews. And they've kind of lost their way on that. I still buy movies that came out in like 2025. I'll pick them up on 4K and I'll put like a little 10-minute thing on there that was like recorded on set. That they actually used to put those out like on TV. Like sometimes when they were promoting a movie, they used to have like, a behind the scenes thing. Now it's just a special feature, and that's usually it.
Well, the DVDs, if I remember correctly, like that was the selling point.
Yeah.
It was like you got these special features. I remember actually, like, I think Laserdisc was basically the first to do it, but I don't think Laserdisc was never as popular as DVD then would become. So the DVD was like the next step from VHS, really, because Laserdisc was kind of like Criterion. They done a lot of Laserdiscs. That was like, that's real boutique there. And then, but just for the casual kind of movie going person who would buy VHSs, the next step up was DVD. And that was a selling point for them, was all the special features and all. And we see now with like when we moved to Blu-ray, some of those special features ported over. But then we started moving to 4K, and then the studios aren't really bothered, and they're not even porting them over. So when you get a boutique label like Arrow Video, who give you like not only the movie in 4K, they give you, I think there's even special features on the disc one as well, on the 4K disc. Then they've got a second disc with features on it, and a third disc with extras on it as well. And there's a TV cut in here, and also you've got your poster and the booklet and the lobby cards as well. So I think, what did I pay for this over here, this side of the pond, John? I think I paid about £30, £25, £30, maybe 35. I can't remember, but if I watch this and I really enjoy the movie, it will be worth it. But if I watch it and the movie's crap, then I'll be like,
Well, you know what? Sometimes I have a review coming out of my channel in the next couple weeks, but I recorded it yesterday for a movie called Faces of Death. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, from 1978.
hmm, it's a kung fu one, is it?
No, it's
Oh,
basically a movie that's like it's a fake documentary about like somebody who was like taking through like they saying it's real clips of people dying and everything like that. And like at the time people thought it was real, kind of like Blair Witch Project. Now the movie itself I didn't think was very good at all, but they put a lot of special features on there, and I'm like, you know what? I'll hang on to this now just because I like the what kind of went into making that movie, even if I don't really like the
yeah,
movie. So it gives me a reason to hang on to it. Maybe that'll happen like with Excalibur if you don't necessarily love
yeah.
it.
Actually, I think I have heard it. Now you've told me what it's about. I knew the name, I just couldn't place it. Yes, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know where I've seen that or heard about it. But it's funny you should say it because I bought Last House on the Left like years ago. It was like a 3 disc special edition, and that's not a movie I'd like to revisit that often. But the third disc is actually a documentary on the slasher genre, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it goes through the
See,
history of the slasher genre. Now it only goes up to like 2005 or something like that, because that's when this came out. It was something like that, John. It's like early 2000s. But I'm like, I've held onto that DVD collection because the best thing about that is that documentary.
yeah, see, exactly. And that gives you a reason to hold on to it. It's like, well, I'm holding on to my older President's Men Blu-ray, even though I have the 4K. It's the Blu-ray came with an hour and a half documentary on the movie that they removed for the 4K. And I was like, well, now I have a reason to hold on to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and I believe on that Excalibur as well, there's a documentary which they done on which came out. They made it at the time to be aired on television, and they never aired it. And it's an hour long, the making of Excalibur, and it's directed by Neil Jordan.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's got to be well put together then.
Yeah, and it's on. I think somebody said it's on YouTube, but it's on that disc it's on that collection for the first time on physical media.
That's awesome. See, that's where physical media is king. Now you get to watch it forever without ads or anything like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Mark's Movie Menu? I'm glad you could pop in here and join us tonight. And
Right.
speaking of Excalibur on Blu-ray is so dreamy. I just fell asleep. I heard they fixed that though. Well, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. How you doing, Mark? Yeah. So, and the other one which came today, which I was very excited to get, John, was Black Sunday.
This is one you've been telling me about for a while too.
Yeah. So I've only seen this movie once. It's one that I've always remembered because it stars Robert Shaw, and I believe this is the last movie he done before he died. It was either this or Avalanche Express. I think they came out around the same time. But I always read about this. I think it was 78 this movie came out. And it was one that I always wanted to check out. And it came on television one night and I give it a watch. And it's actually very good. I've only seen it the once. So it stars Robert Shaw, Bruce Dern's in it as well. And it's all about this terrorist plot to attack the Super Bowl, I think. And Robert Shaw has to stop it. And yeah, it's a really good movie. It's directed by John Frankenheimer, who so it is, yeah. And who's the book? Who wrote the book? I think Thomas Harris wrote the book.
Oh, okay. So it's got some weight behind the movie. I mean, I think we actually
Yeah,
had that released here in the US before you guys got it released there in the UK. Like on the UK and Region C, Region C, I'm always trying to draw. Is that just Australia? I don't know. Region B is UK,
Region
Ireland,
B.
and
Yeah,
other European, or most of Europe.
Europe. Yeah, I think Region B is like Europe, and then Region C, I think you're right, is Australia. Yeah.
Mm.
But it's, as I say, I've only seen it once, but it was one of them ones I thought if I can ever get a physical release of that, I'll definitely pick that up because just being a Robert Shaw fan, one of his last movies, I like character like Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw movies. And it's really good about it is that I think John Frankenheimer, he directed a movie which Scheider was in called 52 Pickup, I think it was called.
Okay, I have seen that.
It's really good. John Glover's in it as well.
Yeah, John Glover. Man, that's a good cast.
Yeah, it's either Frankenheimer or Bottom. I can't remember, but there's a documentary. I was reading the special features on that today, and there's an hour-long documentary. An hour-long documentary. Hold on, I'll just see what it says here. It's called The Directors, John Frankenheimer, an hour-long portrait of the director from 2003, including interviews with Frankenheimer, Kirk Douglas, Samuel L. Jackson, Roy Scheider, Rod Steiger, and others. So that'll be good.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I mean, stacked list of interviews in there. Yeah, all the only thing is when you say Black Sunday, I'm just thinking of U2's Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
Never heard of anyone saying I love the movie Excalibur until the 4K released. I feel like that's common.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. When physical media comes around, people do kind of get interested in their releases and because it's like, oh, they're getting the special treatment. Maybe it'll push me to finally check this movie out or give something another shot.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's happened to me many times. Sometimes a special edition like Miss 45. If Mr. Smelly Potato didn't recommend that and Arrow Video didn't give it that 4K release, I always read about that movie and how it was very raw and the start of Abel Ferrara's mainstream career. But I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a whirl. And, I probably wouldn't have checked it out until a 4K came out like that.
Yeah, that's what I love about boutique labels like Arrow. And George is saying, "Have you ever seen Excalibur?" Either have I, John. Sorry, George. It came out, I think, in 81 or 80, maybe around then. I mean, it's Liam Neeson's in it as well. I think Christopher Ray's in it.
Isn't Helen Mirren in it too?
I think, yeah. I think I did hear Helen Mirren's in as well. So it has this British Irish cast as well that's actually in the movie. I think it might have been filmed in Ireland as well.
Yeah, I can't beat that. Ireland is a beautiful country. Things look great there.
Mm-hmm.
Of County Monte Cristo, 2002. A lot of people, and I know the first time I ever heard about the Count of Monte Cristo was in the movie Sleepers, which is getting a 4K release pretty soon, and then I finally checked that out.
Well, I think I have the book, which was bought for me when I was a kid, and I never read it.
I don't believe I've seen Excalibur tons of stars. I know. So I think that the 4K kind of raised the awareness of Excalibur. I knew the story of Excalibur, I've heard of the sword, and everything before, the movie, but I don't think it was a beloved classic. It's not one that usually comes up in conversation that often. I don't feel like, at least.
Yeah. King Arthur.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the sword. I assume that's what it's about. I've only seen Excalibur one time myself. I didn't love it. That's why but I'm not the biggest sword and sorcerer guy. There's really this Conan and Deathstalker for me, and that's really it.
I imagine it would be more although you're right about the sorcerer stuff, and isn't it there's gonna be about magic and all too, but I was kind of thinking maybe in the vein of obviously not as good Braveheart or something.
Yeah, it's no Braveheart.
No, that's what I'm hoping for, but
What's up, Eli? Thank you for popping in here, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Don't forget to slash the like button, sub to both of these channels. We would definitely appreciate that.
Thank you, Eli.
It would help us both out. Now, you want to get into some of these pre-orders for March, April, and May? Because that's what they've announced through the year.
Yeah, 100%. Which way do you want to do this? Do you want to pop it up the screen first, mate? To be able to just go through what we've got on pre-order?
Yeah, well, this is March right here. So this is, and you can see, guys, underneath it, they put the countries of where they'll be released, which is really just an illustration of the regions. And it's funny because I don't think they do Region C, because I see Canada's flag under only one of them, which I would think would be Region A, but I guess not.
Oh yeah, that's really odd. Let me see. Well, anywhere there's a American flag, John, they've got the Canada flag. So Canada is the same reason as yourselves. I think maybe they're just saying they'll be able to buy it in Canada.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what it is. Because I'm like, I would think it's the same region as us.
Yeah, but North America would just fall under Canada and America, wouldn't it then?
Yeah, poor Mexico. They forget again.
Yeah, maybe can't get it in Mexico. Yeah, and then of course you have the Britain flag there, which I would say is the Republic of Ireland as well. I was down in Dublin last May, and I was in their one of their what do you call it, physical media stores. I can't remember the name of it now, and they actually just had a section just dedicated to Arrow, just all the Arrow videos you could buy. So
I gotta move to a different country. George said Monty Python, the Holy Grail. That's a classic.
Yeah.
But the Icelandic Psycho put a video up showing his physical media store. It just made me so jealous. Because we don't have that here where I live at all. And Braveheart is worth upgrading actually to 4K. I love it. But yeah, I'm jealous of you guys that have physical media stores. Unfortunately, I don't have it.
We have one called HMV, and I haven't been in HMV in a long time, but that's where I buy a lot of my physical media now. So like the Black Sunday and stuff. and Excalibur as well. I think I bought off HMV, which is really good because I can use the pay in three. So even though Excalibur is £35, if it's over £20, you get free shipping. So I can pay that off over 3 months. Do you know what I mean? 10 or a month or whatever. And but this particular one, when I was in Dublin, I was waiting on my train to go home, and I had a couple of hours to kill. I'm just called in, and I'm Dublin. It was brilliant because all the boutique labels, John, just had their own section, and it had everything you see on their website was there. You could just walk through and just look at everything and just pick out whatever you need. Whether it was Criterion, they had an 88 films section. As I say, they had the Arrow section. I don't know if they had second sight. I can't remember. They're bound to have. But the only thing was when you go into those stores, they're a wee bit more expensive than buying them online. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that makes sense because when you buy it online, you're buying it directly, and you get like the kind of the bulk pricing thing. Now that the store itself's trying to make some money, so they usually put like a little upcharge on it, so they get some money.
Yeah, and then of course you just have your standard releases. Then you have your on sale, and they even had a DVD section, a big massive DVD section. But then you've got your like vinyl set. There was vinyl section as well.
Ah, that's cool. Keeping vinyl alive as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So people are excited about Spaceballs. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. I use that joke all the time. I'm actually not the world's biggest Spaceballs fan, though.
You know, I think George may have lent that to me many years ago. He's a big Star Wars fan. Yeah, and
get Spaceballs. He said,
yeah, and I think George, I think you lent me Spaceballs, but I just couldn't get into it. I think it was one of those things that you maybe had to watch. If you, as we've talked before, John, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I didn't actually really watch Star Wars till I was an adult because I wasn't into that stuff when I was a kid. But I think Spaceballs for me is the type of movie that you maybe have to be into the Star Wars movies when you were a kid and maybe watch that when you were a kid. And then I think that you can maybe garner a bit of a following behind it.
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing. I'm over here in the US, so that's getting the UK treatment for March, which is cool because the US we already have a 4K. Guaranteed that it'll look better. It's the same thing with The Killer up here, or Hard Boiled rather. We have a US release of that I already have, so there's no reason for me to personally pick that up, but at least people will be getting that. And I think I know the one that you and I both have pre-ordered. Obviously, you have Black Sunday pre-ordered since you have it sitting right there.
Yep.
But Salem's Lot.
Yes. So Salem's Lot, 100% pre-ordered. I think Arrow teased this like way last August or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time. They put out that little teaser, which Arrow Video does sometimes. They did it with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they did it with The Mask as well. And they have put it out for what are they called? Mortal Kombat movies, which I think will get announced. I thought it was going to get announced for May with the new one coming out, but I was wrong. But they did put out the little teaser.
Well, they put the teaser out like months ago because everybody was expected for October, and then it didn't come. And then everybody went, when's this coming? And then they expected it for January, and it still didn't come. And then eventually they've announced it for this month. But yeah, I love Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is a great television movie. I love the book as well. So yeah, that was an instant pre-order when I seen that. And I ordered that and Black Sunday together. They are basically the only two that I have pre-ordered for March.
Yeah, I only have Salem's Lot pre-order. Red Sonja is like a spiritual sequel to the Conan movies, but doesn't feature Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I didn't pre-order that. And The Birthday, I've never seen. I'm curious what you guys think. And to respond to this, is worth the Kino version of Spaceballs. I guarantee you, because I've had this happen where Kino, puts out the US release where, for example, as a little teaser for what David and I are doing on the Silence of the Lambs and Manhunter. I had the Kino version of the Silence of the Lambs, had the Criterion version, but the Arrow Video UK release is the best version of that on 4K Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually Arrow's versions are superior, at least in my experience. They give it and then of course you get the special packaging.
Packaging, the booklet, the poster, the whole shebang.
Here's one for you, Jay. Some Jaws merch and HMV, Dave.
I know, I must get down to check it out sometimes.
Everyone knows.
But usually if it's in there, I probably already have it.
I watched The Secret Agent. It was the last movie I needed to watch for the Best Picture nominees, and a big plot point of that was because the movie took place in 1977 was seeing the movie Jaws. So I thought of you. I always, now my brain's like ruined because of you and Jaws.
Yeah, I think I do have that. A lot of people.
Well, look what it did to George. He immediately thought of
I
you.
know.
Since UK is releasing Scream Factory 4Ks, which Scream 4K do you want Arrow to release in a chunky box set? Oh, that's a good one. Trying to, you don't have Scream Factory, so I'm trying to think what over here I would like them to do in a chunky box as. In the Mouth of Madness, probably got that. I got the. Oh wait, that already got that one. So we got that. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. What and from Screen Ace Ventura Pet Detective, because we got screwed with their freaking US
Yes.
release of that. It's terrible. So I would love to see them give that the fat box treatment since we already got the mask and maybe one other movie we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah, that actually would be amazing. Yeah, Ace Ventura. That's a good call, John.
So that's off the top of my head. And here's April's releases. So any of these interest you?
So April again, Inner Space for me is the only one from this 6 that I've pre-ordered. That was an instant pre-order for me. I couldn't believe it, and that's what I've said earlier about Arrow. They're kind of moving away. You know, I feel like I wouldn't say they've exhausted the horror genre, but it's good that they're kind of moving in the other directions. That they are starting to do like comedies. Like I even touched on the fact that they're doing comic book movies. That they've done Turtles and they've done The
Spawn.
Mask, Spawn. Yeah, so that's why I was like hopeful they would do like maybe some of the Batman movies, the Tim Burton ones, or even the Joel Schumacher one. Joel Schumacher one. And
Yeah.
yes. So Inner Space was one of these movies that I grew up watching on the television. And it's just hilarious because I like Dennis Quaid. He's in Jaws 3D. And Martin Short is really funny. And this is such a great wee comedy. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I told Faith because Faith asked me if she wanted to get me anything for my birthday, and I said, you know, I pretty much have all the movies I want for April pre-ordered, but I'm like, I really would like Inner Space, and I sent her the link yesterday, and I'm hoping she gets that for me for my birthday because that would be out of this. I did see, I don't know if you ever saw Soldier. I watched that for the first time last year. It's okay. It's not a fantastic action movie, but it's respectable.
Yeah, though I don't think Soldier, who's in that? Kurt Russell?
Yeah, Kurt Russell. It's pretty
You
good.
know,
It's basically these guys groomed from birth to be, you know, the ultimate soldiers, and then, of course, you know, they got fed up with what their lives are. So you can imagine where it goes.
I might have seen that on TV many years ago in the 90s.
Oh, it was on
It's
TV.
yeah, it's familiar to me,
Yeah,
but
I never saw it all the way through till last year, though.
yeah, it kind of reminds you. Yeah, I think I did see that on TV, John, like in the 90s, like a Saturday night premiere, and it was all cut to ribbons. Yeah, but I can't remember much about it.
And then you see The Killer, which again, like same thing. I have the Shout release of that on 4K Blu-ray. So that's but over for the UK, they gave them Dolby Atmos track, which we did not get over here. So they're making something exclusive to Arrow Video as well to try and entice people to double dip.
Yeah. Well, you see, that was the thing. I was saying about Excalibur, and I'm like, oh, if it's a good movie, then I'll be like, that's great, But if I don't like it, then it's like, oh, it feels like a bit of a waste taking space on my shelf here. I'm trying not to buy too many blind buys because there's so much good stuff coming out that like there's Black Sunday and there's Salem's Lot, then there's Inner Space, and then there's a one I've ordered for next month as well, which is kind of a risk for me. But so when I see other things like Killer, it's got a cool cover and stuff like that. I'm just like, just don't do it because
it does look so awesome. And they really did much better artwork than the Shout releases. Like Hard Boiled got like a solid like hunter green. It just doesn't feel like the Killer, like Hard Boiled, but like for Arrow, they went all out. Same thing with the Killer. Like I love their box art. They always do such a good job.
Yeah. And Return of the Living Dead, Chunky Box.
Well, I think he's saying he would love the chunky box. You have it, right?
I was going to say, yeah, I have that, and I haven't watched it yet. And again, that's a blind buy for me, but I haven't had the chance to open it and watch it.
We have the Shout release. That's the one where I have the Scream Factory release. And Scream Factory, that's something we'll talk more about on my Wednesday show because that's going to be the main topic. I got a lot to say, so I'm not going to blow my load here.
No, John, don't keep it under wraps, mate.
Yeah, I'll keep myself clean.
keep it clean, bit, yep. And the thing is that I just was last year. You get bored sometimes as a physical media collector when there's nothing on the horizon. You do kind of get bored and kind of go, you know what, what's out there? And then I start seeing things like Return of the Living Dead and also Zombie Flesh Eater. And I've already got like the box set of Dawn of the Dead. So it's like, let's build a wee zombie collection here. So there is that.
Are you a big zombie guy? Because there's only been like a handful of zombie movies that I've ever really liked.
No, the funny thing is, I'm not yet. I own about 6 or 7 zombie movies. As I said earlier, I've got Night of the Living Dead as well. I like Night of the Living Dead, and Dawn of the Dead's okay, but Shaun of the Dead was very funny as well. That would be a good one for Arrow to do.
Yeah, we got 4Ks of that over here. With we got the whole trilogy of movies. What do they call them?
The Cornetto
The
trilogy.
Cornetto trilogy. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
them all on 4K. I love Edgar Wright movies, so I've always enjoyed. He makes like a combination of like these kind of B movies, spoof movies of other genres. Like I always really liked Hot Fuzz because it's just a spoof of like 80s and 90s action movies.
The Cops. The only one I actually liked, to be honest, was Shaun of the Dead. I didn't like the other two which they done.
No,
Uh,
I the third one was definitely the worst of them, and I could see
yeah.
what they were doing. They
Paul.
really wanted to like trade like Nick Frost's character with what's the lead actor? What's his name?
It's Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Like I think they wanted to let Simon Pegg play like the dumb one for once, and Nick
Yeah.
Frost play the straight one. And I'm like, it kind of works in the regular dynamic.
Yeah. They done a television show over here for years together before they made Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
Like
really?
like a comedy show they done, like used to be on every Friday night. I can't even think of the name of it at the minute. Peep Show's coming to mind, but I'm not sure if that's what you called it. It may be called Peep Show. And the
I've seen
guy,
Peep Show. I don't know if that's the same thing because
maybe I get mixed up, but the guy that died, it's been years since I've seen Shaun of the Dead, but their housemate who gets bit and they find him in the shower the next day, he was in it as well. He was in the TV show.
Oh, that's a great running gag with that guy. He just fucking hates Nick Frost.
Pete, I think you call him Pete in the show, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good show, Peep Show. Actually, I got into that actually for a little while. I watched Hot Fuzz not long ago. I really liked those three movies. Over here. We were so excited for that. I remember I went and saw the movie. So we love Shaun of the Dead. That was like a phenomenon. And then the trailer for Hot Fuzz was attached to the movie Waiting. And then it took years for it to like come out. But I remember we were all like so excited to go see Hot Fuzz. And I remember leaving the theater. And I think a lot of people felt like you. I walked out like Hot Fuzz is better than Shaun of the Dead. And everyone was all over me for that.
Yeah. No, I just didn't think it was as funny. And then Paul as well was, I don't know. Paul was, I watched that and I just went, nah. I've never went back to them again. I would go back to Shaun of the Dead. I did have it in DVD. I'm not sure. I might have given it away to the charity shop, but I'm hoping to get a better release. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was a big action fan. Like I told you before, like when I was younger, and like they were like talking a lot about like Point Break and Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 in that movie, and I'm like, I love those movies. So I kind of was like on board with what they were going for. Becoming Led Zeppelin coming to 4K finally. I saw that documentary in theaters actually. It's pretty good. It felt like a part one, and I don't think it made enough money for them to like continue that. But for the Led Zeppelin fans, I mean, that's a big one. So I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I haven't. I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan.
No, I like Led Zeppelin, but I understand. I respect it. and then the last one we got is May 2026, which we got a comment earlier about the Dollars trilogy somewhere up here. I want to make sure I don't know right here. About the Dollars trilogy box set, because this did cause a little bit of controversy. Me and you discussed this off camera when it was first announced, because I don't think you picked up the fat boxes.
Right. So the thing about the fat boxes was that I seen it advertised and I watched these movies years ago and just didn't really take to them. But because, over time your kind of taste changes and things like that. So I always one of those trilogies that I wanted to revisit at some stage. And I missed out on buying the fat boxes. I missed the first one. It was sold out. I want to get it in 4K. I'm going to get it. I want to get it in 4K. It was sold out. So once I couldn't get it, I went, you know what? I'll wait, and maybe I'll just pick up the individual discs on 4K. And lo and behold, they've now released this box set here with the 3 movies, with the booklet, with the posters. And I decided I'm not going to miss out on it this time. I'm going to pre-order this, and I'll give them another whirl and see if I like them this time. It's been a long time since I've seen them. I'm a wee bit older now. My taste has changed a bit. So, yeah, I may as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I'm a big fan of the Dollars trilogies and the entire trilogy. And I felt like all the special features were amazing. They went all out. In the US, we did have the Kino Lorber ones, and that's kind of still the ones that kind of guide you to. And if you import them, just remember in the United States, you're going to need a Region B player to check out all the special features, because all that's on disc 2, which doesn't always happen. But yeah, unfortunately, if you're someone of the field, the scans are great though. And I hope you end up liking them. And then the other one you sold me on, and I'm definitely gonna pre-order, is Blue Thunder, which I've never seen before.
Yeah. So first of all, that's why I'm reluctant to buy any Region A 4Ks, and I know the 4Ks will play, but sometimes when you get special features on it, an extra disc, then I can't play them, and I don't want to be handcuffed to always having a multi-region player because that happened to me before. I bought a load of like Region One like DVDs years ago, and then my player broke, and I got a new player, and then it just wouldn't play them. So we just got these discs sitting there that don't do anything. So I prefer to wait until they come to the region B because someone's going to do them at some stage. Blue Thunder was one I seen, got excited about, and then realized it's Region A for yourselves across the water, John. And I recommended it to you. It's a great wee movie. It's just as I said about Black Sunday. This is a Roy Scheider movie. You remember I don't know if it's before your time, the television show Airwolf?
I never saw it.
Right. Well, so Airwolf was a television show that used to be on in the 80s. It was kind of like those type of shows like Knight Rider or the A-Team, right?
Oh, so if
Yeah,
it's in that vein, I'm gonna like it then.
Oh, yeah. And I used to love Airwolf when I was a kid. Loved Airwolf. But I didn't realize 2 years later till Roy Scheider died. And then I realized, you know what? I've only ever really seen Roy Scheider in Jaws, Jaws 2, and The French Connection. So I started collecting a few of his movies and watching them. And this was one that I bought and thoroughly enjoyed. So this was the forerunner to Airwolf. And it's a thriller. I think it's directed by John Badham.
Okay.
And it's this state-of-the-art helicopter that fights crime, and he's the pilot of it. And it's a bit cheesy, but it's really good.
Well, if it's 80s cheese, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy it. The other one is another movie you saw recently, and if you go back and listen to one of our older shows, we talked about The Long Good Friday, which is coming back in the season pretty soon.
Yeah.
But the other big movie that Bob Hoskins did that in a similar vein was Mona Lisa, which I have still not seen, but you said that you've seen it since, and it's not as good, right?
No, it's not as good. First of all, I want to say is that if Blue Thunder does come to Region B, I will definitely be picking it up at some stage. But Mona Lisa, that is one that I got on their sale. Arrow Video released that already on Blu-ray a while back. And it was one I was waiting on it coming up on a sale, and I would buy it. And eventually I got it in sale, and I watched it. And it's worth a watch. It's not amazing. It's not as good as The Long Good Friday. Nowhere near as good as The Long Good Friday, in my opinion. Don't even think it has the same watchability. It's a sweet movie. It's kind of like there's gangsters in it, and Bob Hoskins is playing the driver of this escort, and it's all about how she's getting in trouble with these gangsters and how he is going to try and save her from them. It also stars Michael Caine.
That's always good.
He plays the boss of the gangsters, and of course Bob Hoskins is brilliant in it, and it's directed by Neil Jordan, who I just mentioned. And it's made by the same studio that made The Long Good Friday, but it's just nowhere near as good.
Okay. Well, that's a shame. Another one that we have already here in the United States through Shout Factory is Nightbreed, which is a Clive Burton film that I actually really like. And now the main villain is played by David Cronenberg, interestingly enough.
Clive Barker.
Clive Barker. What did I say? Clive Burton. That's the basis for Metallica. I do that all the time.
You always do that. as long as it wasn't Barry Pringle.
Barry Pringle. I'll always do. I'm telling you, once my mind gets hooked on the wrong name, it's forever. So I'll never get Clive Barker right.
I'm sorry, I had to correct you there.
You have to correct me.
Nightbreed. I have the Hellraiser trilogy from Arrow.
Okay.
And yes, by Clive Barker, and I enjoy them. I really like the first Hellraiser, and I don't mind the other two. So this one television one night, and I decided to give it a watch, and I just didn't really like Nightbreed, so that's not one that's going to be on my list, John.
Yeah, I like Nightbreed, but I can see why the tones kind of shift, and like the one thing is like it feels like a serial killer movie, and then it kind of shifts into like these kind of monsters in the graveyard kind of thing. And I always thought one of them looked like do you remember the old McDonald's commercials with Mac at Night with like the half moon looking guy? His head looked like a half moon, and it was supposed to be McDonald's at night kind of thing. And I was like, the fucking thing looked just like Mac at Night because of the practical effects. we talked about TMNT and how those hold up. They don't really hold up so well in that one.
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to think here because Queen done a song. It was Radio. Was it Radio Gaga? And there was the clips from Metropolis and stuff in it. I'm wondering, was that from Metropolis? That Moon, or
I
is it me?
wonder, maybe it was that's what's originally kind of based on, but I always just think of Mac Tonight. I can't
Yeah.
help it. Yeah. All we need is Radio Gaga,
Uh-huh.
Radio Goo Goo. Great song.
Yeah, it's a great song. But what about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves? Would you be going for that one?
Probably not. I'm not a big fan of that movie. I prefer the Mel Brooks version that came out around the same time, which was what was his called?
Men in Tights.
Men in Tights. Yeah, I would with Carrie Ellis. I like that one a lot more than I like that. Unfortunately, Kevin Costner, a lot like Keanu Reeves, is not great with accents, and when you ask him to do it, he's like 3/4 of the way in, and like another quarter of it is just gone. He's not even trying anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think we already got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves
So
by
this is
Arrow.
so
I
this
think
is
we already
coming
got
to
it.
okay, so this is the US Canada release finally.
Yeah, and I wasn't interested then. I remember this as like being a massive hit when it came
Oh, it
out in the
was.
early 90s, and the song was on the radio for like 3 months. It was number one, and it was never off the radio for like 3 months. It was number one
Oh
on the
yeah.
charts, and that
Bryan
bloody
Adams,
song,
right?
yes, was never off. And I don't know. I watched it, I think, when I was a kid, and I'm not really into Robin Hood type stuff, apart from the Robert Shaw one and Sean Connery, Robin and Marion, came out in 1970 odds or something. But it's just one of this like I don't really want to go back and watch that again. I just get a funny feeling it'll be really cheesy 90s movie.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and it is. That's the thing. It's a very cheesy '90s movie, and that song, you're right. Every little thing I do it for you. Well, that song
That's
actually
it. It's the
it
one.
comes back around. I gotta be honest. I like Bryan Adams, and
Yeah.
it comes back around every once in a while, and I'll still go ahead and listen to it. But that's the best part of the movie is the song because everything else, we're men in tights, and we're
It, it was like I can't remember what year that movie came out, but it was like that Bryan Adams song was in the charts and it was number one forever. And then not long after that, might have been a year later, but it was I always remember like Meatloaf's what do you call it? I Would Do
I,
Anything for Love. That came out and then that was number one on the charts for ages.
yeah, that's well, I love that song and I love that album. It's so
Yeah.
91 for Bryan Adams and then 93 for Meatloaf, actually.
A couple of years between it then. It's all merged into one for me, John.
Yeah, well, Meatloaf is the one musical artist I could talk to you all day about because he's one of my, if not my all-time favorite. I love Meatloaf.
Yeah, no, listen, that song's a great song by Meatloaf, though. You know,
The whole
great song.
album, Bad Out of Hell 2, is great.
It
That
is. Definitely is.
It really is. So
Life is a lemon, and I want my money back.
I listen, that song didn't make sense when I was a kid, but it sure does now, and I would definitely like my money back. Objects in the rearview mirror appear closer than they are.
Yep.
Mhm. So we did want to talk about some stuff that we want Arrow Video to make before we get out of here today. Like kind of like we picked David and I both picked 3 movies, and we want to hear from you guys too. Like what are some movies that you guys would like to see actually brought to either Blu-ray or 4K? Get the full Arrow Video treatment. We're not going to bring up. We already brought it up. Is Batman. We don't want it Batman because we I think at least the way I approached it was more from like a realistic possibility. Like I just don't think
mine are all pie in the sky here.
like all like you're just shooting from everywhere. I thought like I can see Arrow Video doing these releases, so that's why I'm gonna pick them.
I want them to do the Godfather 1, 2, and 3 chunky box set posters.
They would be the best. I mean, it would. This one says the best one Arrow could release would be Big Trouble in Little China from this year for anniversary if they can get it. People love Big Trouble in Little China.
Well,
I'm not the world's biggest fan, but I know why people get it.
They already released that on Blu-ray.
Oh, Arrow did it?
Yep, I've got it.
Oh, see here we did not. That was, I believe, Shout Factory too.
So now the thing about that's what I'm saying about earlier on there. I was late to the party to the Arrow in a lot of ways. So it's kind of like if I really like the movie, if it comes to 4K, maybe they'll bring that out in 4K. They've done it with Dress to Kill. So that's what we could kind of aspire for. Yep, there we go. Maybe 4K.
Yeah, that's what we could hope for. Like people have been dying for that to come to 4K Blu-ray for a long time. George, what he say? He Mortal Kombat. Yeah, we should be getting Mortal Kombat. I hope so. And love Meatloaf and Fight Club. Yeah. What was his name? He had something had bitch. I know he had bitch tits. That was the whole thing.
Oh, I can't remember, but I remember him in Wayne's World.
Robert Paulson. His name was Robert Paulson.
Remember in Wayne's World where he says about Wayne says that he's playing the doorman. Wayne says to him, "Who's on the night?" And he says, "Shitty Beatles." And he goes, "Are they really shit? Or are they good?" And he says, "No." He says they suck. And he says, "So it's not just a clever name then."
So it's not just a clever name again. I mean, I'll quote Waze Willie all day. Oh, a gun rack. I don't even have a gun to really justify a gun rack. Always makes me sad when someone doesn't love Robin Hood. I mean, unfortunately, I was never the world's biggest Robin Hood fan. And either was David. So unfortunately, it's the wrong place. We're the wrong guys that talk Robin Hood.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I went back, I'd love it again. But it's just something
You
about
never
me is
know.
like reluctant to do it. I'm like, 'cause that's that cheesy early '90s Kevin Costner. Do you know what I mean? It's just very Hollywoodized. Even though it's a fake story anyway, apparently.
Yeah. If WB refused to let Arrow have the rights to AOS, I doubt Batman will be given. No, they'll never give Batman. That's the thing. I know they'll never let them make Batman. They don't want to let them anything. Because he said a Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, if Warner Brothers can get the money and without having to do all the work, they'll do it. Like Lethal Weapon would be something I would have loved them to do, but we already know that they gave it to us on 4K from them, which was good, but
Mm.
like it's the special features thing that kills me is because Warner Brothers just does not care about special features. And I know that if Arrow Video did it, we'd get that.
Yeah, yeah. You want your kind of premium kind of collection with the packaging and the box and even if it's the thinner version, at least you're getting something extra from them rather than just the disc and that's it. Yeah, I mean, John, you always say that the actual 4K scan is the most important thing to you, which I tend to agree with. That is the most important thing because there's one on my list here that hasn't even got a 4K yet, and I'm disgusted with that. So I'm just like, well, let's just go all out and just give us an RO video version.
Yeah, all three of my movies are don't have 4K releases.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wrote down 6 movies here, which one of them is Batman. So I'll just see what you have here, and then I'll see if any are mine, and if they're not, then
well, one I kind of spoiled a little bit on the front of this, and it is kind of a teaser for what you and I will be doing pretty soon. But Manhunter, I don't know if that's on your
yeah,
list, but like that's one that we've discussed and how good it looks and how beautiful the movie itself looks, and we know that it would, the movie itself needs more love, just in general from fans because they might not even realize it's out there, and much less realize that it's the first ever on-screen appearance of Hannibal Lecter. But it's a beautiful 1980s Michael Mann movie, and
Mhm.
on 4K Blu-ray here in the US, we have a Shout Blu-ray of it, but it's very, very, very old and dated at this point, and I would love the full treatment of it.
Yep, totally agree, John. And I think we went on that episode that we're coming out. I had mentioned that wouldn't it be good if we get an RO video version of this because they've done Silence of the Lambs, but I think we had also mentioned as well. I can't remember if it was afterwards or during the episode that To Live and Die in LA would be a nice one to have on 4K. RO video done the Blu-ray, but I would love to see them upgrade the 4K.
Yeah, we have the 4K from Kino here, but that would be one that I would dabble and get the Arrow version of because it's a good transfer, but it's not a great transfer. But William Peterson is that guy that I would love to see, on 4K Blu-ray through Arrow Video and have both of his movies. So yeah, To Live and Die in LA would be a nice choice for them as well.
Yeah, especially those legs
Oh yeah, get those 80s legs out because he put on
on the
so much
beach.
weight by the time he got to CSI, man.
Yeah, he's past his prime.
Yeah, but
You
in the
know,
80s days, gets to wear the short shorts. He's got that nice little house, and like you said, sitting with Dennis Farina on the big freaking tree on the beach.
those pink short shorts.
They're like almost salmon
Yeah,
colored, right?
that's right. Yeah, I have a pair of them myself actually, and
Mhm.
the legs aren't as good. His legs are better on his waves.
Yeah. You touched her, didn't you? Yeah. You took your gloves off and touched
You
her.
took your gloves off and touched my shorts, you son of a bitch. He's talking to Dennis Faringa.
Oh man, my question is: Mortal Kombat from 1990 was released by Arrow. Will they package Mortal Kombat Annihilation with it, aka Heavy Metal 2000 with Heavy Metal 4K? Um, I've thought about that. I said initially when they put that teaser out that they probably will, because remember when they did TMNT, a lot of people said they were just going to give us TMNT 1, but then they gave us the
Mm,
entire trilogy. So my
mm.
guess is that we'll get both of them. I mean, Annihilation, I don't think is as good as 95's, but I like them both, and I'll be very happy to pick them up. And that leads to my other pick that I would
Well,
really like them to do.
do you
But
want me to do my one for that? By the way, the Dead Living Dan Ali wasn't one of mine. I just wanted
oh
to throw it
no,
in.
I thought that
No,
was one
no,
of
sorry, mate. No, I just wanted to throw it in with Manhunter because I thought it would be nice too. They've already done it, but I would like them to upgrade the 4K. But so my first one, to be honest with you, that since they've moved into comedy, right? They're starting to do comedy movies now too. I want Stakeout on 4K.
Ah, okay, that would be great. That's one that we have reviewed, and David made me a fan of that movie. Jesus Christ, you got to do
Jesus Christ.
it.
Yeah, so I really want them to do that in the chunky, since they're doing like inner space. Why can't they do Stakeout? Talk about buddy cop movies. That's one of the best of the 80s, in my opinion. Dreyfus, Estefes, and the chunky box set. Maybe a 4K with extra features, poster, alternative work. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean I would love that too. Now, do you want them to do a double feature with another stakeout, like thrown in there as well?
No, I'm not really fussed on that. I prefer to have it individually.
Nah,
Another stakeout. Look, another stakeout. A lot of people don't like another stakeout. A lot of people really don't like it, but I like it. But I wouldn't want them to do both together. Maybe if they've done that as like a slimline one at some stage, then that would be fine.
yeah. So this is the bad news here, at least for the US. Stakeout would be good, but Disney, so I don't know. So yeah, like we said, Disney holds them hostage.
Does they
But
own that? Do they? I
yeah,
don't
and he
really
said,
like
"Oh, I'd
that.
love to see Con Air." Well, that's one that Disney also owns, and apparently they've already shown off a new 4K scan of Con Air. So the rumor
Hmm.
it's supposed to come at any time, but you just never know, like if they're actually going to do it or if they'll just keep it behind closed door. But Con Air is a favorite of mine as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years.
When I was a kid, I used to get made fun of by the very few movie fans that I knew in high school because I would have in my at the time, this is before I was like 16. Con Air was in my top 10 favorite films of like when I was a kid. I told you when I was a
Mm.
kid, I loved action movies and I love a nice cheesy fucking 1990s Nicolas Cage action movie like that. my do- my daddy's coming home on July 13th. My birthday is July 13th. His fucking accent's horrible.
I don't think I've seen that movie since the 90s.
I watch that probably once a year. Stakeout, yes, that'd be awesome. Another Stakeout is one of the worst sequels I've ever
Yeah.
seen, I have to say. So
You see,
you're
You see, that's why I don't think they should do it 2-in-1 because I think a lot of people will be turned off because the sequels with it. So just keep it to the original. The original's the classic. And then, yes, if they wanted to do the second one, maybe down the line, if Disney would let them do it, then yeah, they could do that.
only oh wow. It's like they only did Mighty Ducks 3 if they let him do another Stakeout. Really? I'm not the world's biggest Mighty Ducks 3 fan, so I don't know if he did good on either.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Another good would be like Judgment Night.
That's a good one. I would love them to do Judgment Night. One thing I've always kicked around, this is my number two, is that they've always now that they have that new line deal and we got the mask lying right there for us to take is Dumb and Dumber. And that's the one I
Yeah.
would absolutely love on 4K. That'd be like probably the one I want the most. I always put it near the top of my most wanted 4Ks list, even if Warner Brothers does it, but I hope they don't. I'd rather it just be Arrow Video because I think that they would give it the treatment it deserves. Because on Blu-ray, it's only the director's cut, and the director's cut is not that good. I really they extend out the scenes, and it just shows you the power of a good editor. Sometimes more isn't always better.
Yeah. I've never upgraded Dumb and Dumber from DVD. And I
Good.
think that, yeah, I think I think my DVD though, John, is the director's cut.
Well, maybe it has the theatrical cut because I think I recall that DVD. Is it flipped? Like you can flip it on both sides? It might have both versions on there.
This one isn't the one you flip, but
No.
maybe it might have both versions, but I can't remember. So
Ah.
it's so long since I've watched it.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, well, Dumb and Dumber is like Dumb and Dumber is actually my all-time favorite comedy, so I would die for that on 4K Blu-ray. Just I want to see the theatrical cut again because like I only just have the Blu-ray and I won't it's not the worst. It's just like I've watched Dumb and Dumber so much, I know where the edit is. Like I know where
Yeah.
the scene starts off, like where it's supposed to start off in the theatrical cut, like when they're in the hot tub and like he's actually listening to the people in the next room banging each other, and he's like, "Get her!" And like, but I
Go
know
get
that
her.
that's not in the theatrical cut, so I'm like,
But he says to him about or you or something. He says to Lloyd, he says, "It splits you like a piece of wood."
"Yeah, split you like this piece of it," and he's just looking at. And then the actual scene starts where he's like, "What happened, Har? Some little filly break your heart?" And he was like, "No, it was a girl." What
Yeah.
happened? I don't know. She wrote me some John Deere letter and like said something about me not really like paying attention. I don't know. I wasn't really listening.
Yeah, it is a very funny movie.
Oh man, I quote it all the time. No way. We've landed on the moon. I heard a while ago the Arrow UK was going to release Paul on 4K. I heard that too, but I've been holding off on the Kino version. Haven't heard any more lately. Have you ever seen Paul?
Aye, that's part of the Coronado trilogy.
Well, I think it's not Edgar Wright who directed it, but it is Nick Frost, and I'm always kidding.
Yeah, Simon Pegg. They wrote
Simon
it, didn't
Pegg. Yeah, I think it's their movie, and I think Simon Pegg's the alien, right?
they? No, there's actually an alien
There's actually an alien.
called Paul. Yeah, and he looks like a little green man.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. I only
Yeah,
watched it when it came out.
I seen it years ago on TV, and that's what I'm saying. There's Shaun of the Dead, there's Hot Fuzz, there's Paul. I think that's the trilogy, isn't it? Or is it
It
a World's End?
A
I
World's
can't
End. The
remember.
that's the one. End of the Cornetto trilogy, which is an alien movie too.
Right.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, that's the one
I
where they're
thought
like. No, Paul was like that's Paul was the movie they did after, but it's not Edgar Wright.
right. Okay. I thought Paul was the third in that trilogy. Well, I haven't seen it World's End, so but Paul, I thought it was all right. I thought it was better than Hot Fuzz, but
How dare you?
yeah,
How dare
it's
you?
been a
Well,
while since I watched them. Like it's been years since I've seen them. Only watched them the once.
okay, well, he was pretty much only a cameo in Dogs 3. Was okay, but not really as good as Emilio was quoted saying Disney came to him and he said, "You only do it for another stakeout." Yeah, the whole movie felt phoned in. Unfortunately, I want Wrongfully Accused on 4K. That's a good movie. I don't know if you ever saw it.
I don't think I have seen that one. Wrong. I know the name, but I don't think I've seen it.
And with Nielsen is so awesome, and people who make comedy movies should watch his movies to see what to do. Liam Nielsen, I assume, or Leslie Nielsen. I always get the names mixed up. Australia, always a good day, mate. Let's see. Seth Rogen is the alien. Okay, so Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. But is he not like? Is he doing the voice though? I thought there was actually like a wee green alien in it.
So I guess it's actually just Seth Rogen doing the voice of the alien.
Yeah,
I only
can't
saw it the
remember.
one time when it came out. Like I actually remember watching that, like when it came out on physical media. I remember watching it with and my sister-in-law and my ex-brother-in-law was still married. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I only watched them once years ago, and I see them with Hot Fuzz. Like I barely even remember them. I just remember them driving along like in an RV or something with the alien.
Yeah, that's Paul.
Yeah, and then the Hot Fuzz. The only bit I remember is when they took the old lady out at the fence, and that was the funniest part.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. And I like Paul not as much as the trilogy. So yeah, Mr. Smelly Potato Grease looks like George. Don't like World's Ends. Also prefer Shaun of the Dead. So yeah, I'm in the minority with Hot Fuzz, and I know I am. Is a parody of The Fugitive. Yep, I meant Leslie. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen is he's comedy gold. I mean, the Naked Gun movies, Airplane. You can't do better.
Yeah, well, Loaded Weapon.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about Loaded Weapon. I really want to rewatch Loaded Weapon. Somebody was confused in the comments. They're like, they actually got mad at people because it was called Loaded Weapon. The movie's called Loaded Weapon 1. And somebody's like, you don't have to type out Loaded Weapon 1. We all know it's the first one. It's like it's the only one. Like that's the joke.
Yeah. So was it that me and you were doing a show and you looked it up and you were like, oh, you said to me something about the sequel, and I went, no, there is no sequel, and then you went because it says Loaded Weapon 1 here, and I was like, yeah, that's the joke.
Yep, I fell for the same joke. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right. So
I'll go to number 2.
Yeah, I'll do my number 2. My number 2 here. This is actually. Do you know what it is? This is my number 1, but I'm going to go number 2 because I want to see what you're going to pick as your number 1 first. Right?
All right.
Because if you don't pick this as your number 1, I might, right? But this is my number 1, but I'll pick up as number 2. So it's his 40th anniversary this year. I've got it in Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Arrow going back to their roots. They've done Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They need to do this. The Fly.
Oh yeah, you see that's a big one too. I would love that movie. That's probably David Cronenberg's most popular movie. I love The Fly. That's a great one. I'm surprised we haven't gotten that on 4K. That's one that people have been asking for years. I think that might
Yep.
be Disney, and I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
why.
Disney again. See, Disney, they got to get the finger out and not all do these.
They don't again, this is what I keep hammering home is if you don't want to make the physical media release, if you're too lazy, then just let somebody else do it. Just license
Yep.
out the rights and you just get a kickback. They do all the work. Like you might not get 100% of the profits, but isn't that better than getting nothing? I just don't understand these greedy bastards, man.
Yep. And listen, that is a title where I think Arrow would be all over, and you know they're going to do a great job of that. Could you imagine that box set with the original poster and all, the fly,
Mhm.
and the front of it? Do you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
it would look so good.
There was a package release that had all the versions of The Fly, the original one, the sequels, and then The Fly from David Cronenberg and its sequel. That one would be fantastic. That's a great call.
Well, I have, I got it. I was in HMV years ago, and it was on sale, but it's all DVD. I have the whole collection, double disc the original, double disc the sequel. Let's say the original, the 1986 original, and then the sequel, The Fly 2, Eric Stoltz. Then the 1950s versions, like there's 3 or 4 of them, and it's in a box that looks like the pod
Oh, that's awesome.
from the 1986 Fly. And then there's, what do you call that? Or I can't even think of the name at the minute. Lenticular
Lenticular lens cover.
on the front, and you turn it, it's Jeff Goldblum, and when you turn it, it turns into a fly, and it's like he's knelt inside the pod, and you open it up, and then it has the discs, and it's all DVD. I have every single one of them. It's sitting in the man cave. I don't think I've ever showed you it.
No, you gotta take a picture and send that to me. They used to
Yeah.
get really creative with that. I'm like the old TMNT Blu-ray box set, like the 4Ks are beautiful and got a great treatment as well. But here in the US, we got them in the pizza box. Like each disc
I've
was a
seen that.
different kind of pizza. I'm like, that's getting creative with the movies. I'm like, I wish we still did things like that
Yeah.
on physical media.
Yeah, I went in the HMV one day. It was going for next to nothing. And I was like, I have to buy that. And as I say, it's one of those ones, John, as time goes on and you get rid of your DVDs and you upgrade it, that's one that just is like, no, that's a keepsake forever, because it's like a clamshell. It's like a black plastic clamshell. Do you know what I mean? But you can't tell until, and then you just pop it open, and then it's like cardboard then, and you take the cardboard out and you flip through the discs. But it's like, it was back when the original got like a double disc release, steelbook on DVD, and I bought that, and then I seen this afterwards. But it has the second movie in double disc special edition, which I don't think I've ever seen before, just as a single. And then it has all the ones from the 50s. It's like The Fly, The Return of the Fly, The Curse of the Fly. And the sequels are really weird because they're not really about flies. It's more all about these doctors and scientists who have been kind of messing with human genetics, and they create mutants. So it's like really weird.
Interesting. I gotta watch those. I only seen The Fly and The Fly. So
Yeah, they're good. They're actually really good. Really good B movies.
I like B movies, so I'm gonna have to check those out eventually. Maybe we'll get the box set. Hopefully, one day get them all on from Arrow Video. So that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Mr. Smelly Potato said Executive Decision would be a good movie for Arrow to do since it's Warner Brothers movie. And that fits more in line with like Arrow doing it. They could also do the missing stuff back then they took away from the Blu-ray. So that's right in line what they should do, because Executive Decision feels like the kind of movie that Arrow Video would do, that Warner Brothers would say, it's not one of our big titles. The 1998 Avengers would also be interesting just to see the original one. I like that version of the Avengers. I have a feeling WB is going to do the Elm Streets on separate steelbooks this year. That's been the belief. Wouldn't shock me. They just did do a re-release of the steelbook collection pretty recently, right?
They're doing a releases. I don't think it's out this September or something, but
am
I right about that?
I think you're right. Nothing But Trouble. That's a good one. Hopefully they'll do it. And so my final pick, I don't even know if you've seen this movie actually, but it's one of my I if I were to make a list of the most underrated films of all time, this is one I usually put at number one. I did a very early review of the Blu-ray like back in the day, just because I want people to see this movie, and I figured, you know what, this is a good time to talk about it again. Frequency from 2000, which stars Dennis Quaid and Jim, whatever the hell his name is, from the Passion of the Christ. But I love that movie, man. I've always been a big fan of it, and I always feel like it got very underappreciated. I love, anytime where like kind of time travel,
Yeah.
Buying a serial killer storyline. Not to mention, it's about the Mets and the Mets winning the World Series, which is something I never got to experience. So I get to
You
live it
need
for film.
you need a time machine for that, John.
I sure do.
I have seen that movie. I seen that movie many years ago when it was on like Sky Movies. Loved it. Seen it a few times, 3 or 4 times. Loved it. I haven't seen it since. And if Arrow done that, that's one I probably pick up 100%. But
Oh, awesome.
I am very surprised though that you didn't pick the Terminator.
Well,
Is it because you're saying you can never see them doing that?
yes. So when I picked my list of movies, the way I approached it was I approached it like I didn't want to pick movies that I don't see them ever doing. So like that already has a 4K release, and
Yeah.
Warner Brothers did it, and I just can't imagine that they would ever let Arrow Video do it. So I didn't want to pick it. I would of course pick the Terminator, but so the name was Jim Caviezel. Yeah, you're right, and I couldn't pull it. But yeah, that's the only reason I didn't pick that. So I tried to approach it differently. We didn't discuss how to approach it, so I was like, I tried to go to a realistic, like I just can never imagine if they did the Terminator, I would definitely give one of my kidneys for it, if not
Yeah.
both. Like, you know.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough because I was the same when I was doing my list here, and I've got two left on it because I just wanted to see what you had picked too, and one of them was the Terminator. But I understand where you're coming from because listen, if I had a knew the likes, if I didn't look into it, because we kind of, I'd said to do you earlier today, why don't we just do a top three so we didn't have
Yeah,
to
this
really
was
think about it.
we kind of came to this pretty loosely, and like we didn't discuss it really, so it's not like so but that's kind of fun too. We cut different approaches, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, so if I had knew that some of these were Disney from Disney, maybe I would have second thought about it. But we could still go. Well, that's a pipe dream. Why not? Why come on? Not hope that Arrow does it. The reason I'm saying about I get what you're saying, and I kind of thought to myself as well. Would I be best picking movies that haven't actually came to Blu-ray or 4K yet? Right? Because in some ways you might think that's easier for them to do. Because if a studio spent the time to remaster a movie, then what's the chances that Arrow are going to take it and do it again? And that's the thing with movies like The Terminator. That is one I would love them to do. That was one on my list here. I know I says I wrote down 6, but I think that since they have done westerns, that I would maybe like to see them do a box set of Young Guns 1 and 2.
That would be awesome because we got Young Guns a few years ago, and no mention of Young Guns 2 since. And I'm like, well, are they forgetting about Young Guns 2? Like, what's the reasoning? Because I think you and I both fall on the same side here, where we think Young Guns 2 is better.
Yeah, 100%. That's right. So they released them on Blu-ray, and not long after they released the first one on 4K, didn't it? But they haven't released the second one.
No, and usually, like when they do that, now I'm getting afraid with Lethal Weapon too. It's like usually they put the first one out as like a feeler, and I guess they go by how the sales are. And then you like maybe the next year you get Young Guns 2. And I was like, it's been like 3 years now. And I'm like, I don't think we're gonna get Young Guns 2. And I'm like, do I buy the Blu-ray? That's always like the conundrum is like, do I now buy the Blu-ray and then risk them getting a 4K?
Yeah, because I'm the same. They're because I just got the shootist from Arrow last year because I want to start watching more westerns, especially older westerns. And I grew up watching Young Guns 2, and I love Young Guns 2. And I'm the same as you, John. I've seen them come to Blu-ray, and you can buy a pack, like a 1 and 2 pack. And I don't really like that because sometimes it feels cheap, 1 and 2 pack with the first and second movie and Blu-ray. And I'm holding off because I only have them on DVD still. I've had them on DVD for years, and I'm holding off because I really want a nice Blu-ray 4K of Young Guns. And to be honest, see Young Guns 1, I'm not even sure if that 4K came out over here.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think it was a Lionsgate release over here based on the case. So it's probably it possibly didn't. If I had to guess, it probably didn't actually, which is a shame because you do need that. And I know, big that they're so fun too, man. It's a shame. It really is.
There's like I have one in there and I need to get around to watching it because that's what happens. Arrow have me to get me when I'm kind of bored or whenever or when they're having a sale and I buy them all and then I just have to get around to watching them. There's one called FX and FX2, and that comes like in a chunky box set with both movies in it, and that with all new art and all and a booklet and things like that. So I'm kind of thinking that my whole kind of pipe dream with Young Guns is that if they've done something like that with both movies in the one box set with the booklet and the posters and things like that, that would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be nice. And they both deserve the love, and you can't watch one without two. So, in my opinion, Arrow, please do Pokemon the first movie and give us at least a special edition Blu-ray. I don't know if you ever saw the I don't know if you ever. I think you might have been a little late to a little too old for the Pokemon craze.
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, I was in it until about the first movie came out, so it's funny. I remember making my mom take me to go see the first movie in theaters, so I would
Wait,
definitely do it.
so when did that come out?
If I'm correct, that was 2000, or it might have been 99 because he said 25th anniversary, so that means that it was probably 1999. But I remember seeing that in theaters. You guys should do one for Vinegar Syndromes with Warner Bros. If you haven't already. This is actually the first time that we've done one of these conversations on physical media. So, depending on how this one goes, we'll do more.
Hmm.
Enemy of Mine on 4K. I don't know why we never got Enemy of Mine on 4K either. Do you want to see Under Siege 2 or Deadly Ground? Well, I'm not a big Under Siege is really the only one of what's his name's movies that I even like.
Seagal.
Steven Seagal. I don't really like him at all. But that's really just because I like Tommy Lee Jones in that movie and Gary Busey.
Yeah, I thought On Deadly Ground was funny.
Deadly Ground, it's watchable. They're working on
Like,
Young Guns 3 now, so they need to drop Young Guns 2 when it happens. Like that's always a good tie-in, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you've been giving me the updates on Young Guns 3.
yeah, I haven't heard anything much recently about it, but yeah, I did hear it was getting into production. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Hopefully we get that. I would love first Pokemon and Pokemon 2000. So it must have been 1999 then for not first
Yeah,
one.
listen, I was an adult by then, so
Well,
just barely.
yeah, well, to be fair, I was younger and when Pokemon came around, I was a big fan to the point that when I was 6 years old, I had a Pokemon comforter in my bed, and then it wasn't until I was moving into this house in 2017 that Faith made me get rid of that blanket. Most comfortable blanket I ever had. And she said that we're not taking that with us. So I'm like, but I'm like, I've had this for almost 20 years and to this day, still haven't gotten a better blanket. She's done that to me twice because she made us get rid of our couch too, and we replaced it.
Uh-huh.
And this couch just is not as good as the old one. I don't care what she says. I don't care if it's new. That one was special.
Like Homer Simpson on his couch.
Exactly. Like you fall in love with your couch, Even the third movie is good. I never saw the third movie, so I liked Pokemon. And then it was really kind of like around that from like 1998 till about 2002, I was done with Pokemon. So I can't say I've kept up with it really at all. I know that it's still around. Like Matt still collects the Pokemon cards, which is fucking insane. He's 37 years old this year. So, but hey, 1999 first movie. So man, I went to the movies in 99 to see that.
You should have given me your blanket.
I know. Well, I don't know why. That blanket was special, man. It was special.
Keep it in the family. You know what I mean?
Right?
Family heirloom.
He would have ruined it. It's not being on 4K due to with Heigl refusing to do anything for it. I remember she was in it. So Katherine Heigl doesn't want to do anything for it. That's weird that would hold up the entire 4K release. Seagal was good and Machete. Steven Seagal, I mean, listen, people love Steven Seagal. I think the debate always for me was always like you always had your A tier of action movies. You got like Arnold, Stallone, and then Bruce Willis, I think hovers between A and B. And then like below it, you had like the Jean-Claude Van Dammes and Seagals of the world, where I just felt like you either love them or hate them. And I used to hate them both. And then I came around on Jean-Claude Van Damme. I was too hard on him, but I realized I wasn't too hard on Seagal.
Yeah.
I still don't like him.
Yeah. You know, he broke Sean Connery's wrist.
Did he? He's a fuck.
Well, Sean Connery says he actually hired Sean Connery was doing an action movie, and this must have been like in the 80s or something like that, or was it what he was doing? Never Say Never Again. I think it was what he was doing. Never Since Never Again. It's not the last Bond movie he done, and he hired him to help with the fighting and stuff. And he said he was showing him all these moves, and Sean Connery says himself, he says I got a bit cocky myself. He says then I went, and he grabbed my wrist and he broke it.
I blame Seagal for it.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw the first and second movie in theater. My brother and my dad, and he got dragged into it. LOL. Yeah, you got to drag your parents into it when you're a kid. But I saw the first two in theaters myself. But it was really the first one I can very, very still remember very much. I actually want to ask you about that. Never Say Never Again. Will we be doing that when we catch up to it in like 10 years? Because it's not a Bond movie.
I don't want to count it because it's not official. I mean, we haven't done Casino Royale, although I will be going back again because we only started in this basically in the late 60s. But we'll think about it closer to the time. John, maybe we should do it. I haven't seen it. Well, I remember being on television when I was a kid, so haven't really sat down and watched it from start to finish. You realize that it's a remake of Thunderball?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about it that I never really liked it because it's like I think it also came out the same year as another Bond movie, which is weird. So it's like Octopussy, which so I'm always like, it's weird that it's a Bond movie, but it's not a Bond movie, and he's just so old in it, and I'm like, I feel weird watching it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would like to watch it now just because of that, because of how kind of like, you know, of a what's the word?
Like a relic of the time, it is.
No, but just how it's kind of this weird kind of situation where you have two Bond movies coming out in the same year, and one's official and one's not, and they're facing off against each other, and you've got the old Bond facing off against the current Bond, you
They're
know.
both old as shit, by the way, at that point.
And they are, and I think they tried to bill it as like this was Moore's last one, which is supposed to be his last one, and I think Connery only came back to stick it to the Bond producers. But I remember when it came on television years ago, and as soon as didn't hear the Bond music, I wasn't interested because it just didn't feel like a Bond movie because he didn't have that famous Bond theme.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's for me. That believe it or not, things like that will take me out of movies. Like I know some people who really like it, and I'm just like, when it's not official and it doesn't have all like the Bond, like everything I expect from a Bond film in it, it kind of hurts it. Like it kind of will like
Yeah.
just drag me out. It's like when they kind of do things with like sports movies and they can't get the rights to real sports teams. Believe it or not, those little idiosyncrasies, I don't know,
Idiosyncrasies.
like those little things will like take me out of a movie.
Yeah, oddity was the word I was looking for. Tough word to come
Oddity.
up with.
All
This
right, well,
time of night on a Monday, I'm very tired.
we're
No,
not
but
English professors.
no, we're not. We're not. But that's the word I was looking for. It just feels like an oddity, but it's kind of because of that. Now I want to watch it and kind of be like, and I've heard a lot of people say, in hindsight, Bond fans say in hindsight, it's actually quite a good movie. It just because it wasn't official and people were kind of, as you say, in love with Moore at that time as Bond, and that had the official logos and theme tune, and then you had a really old Sean Connery coming back. That it was kind of looked down upon, but people have said in reflection it's actually not a bad Bond movie. So maybe we should do it. We'll see. We'll have to get this year's out of the way because
Maybe that's an Axis episode.
It could be because if we're doing Bond this year, next year it'll be Octopussy, and that's the same year as Never Say Never Again.
Yeah, I that's what, it's a good idea. We can at least bring it up in the conversation, Octopussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we need Gravity and Sky High on 4K. I agree with both of those. Gravity's been rumored since 4Ks came around. The best part of Seagal's films are space ice reviews of them. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And his body doubles are great in Seagal movies. Yeah, his body doubles are absolutely insane. Also very obvious. Not as obvious as Terminator 2. Never Say Never Again doesn't feel as polished as Connery's other Bond movies. His hair is the worst in that.
That's the most polished is his head.
Oh my God. He could just be bald then at that point. Which movies are you excited for 20? For me, Dune 3, Odyssey, and The Digger. For me, Dune 3 is probably really high up there. I'm trying to think, like I'm very the Odyssey is number one, 100%. I'm just always excited for a new Nolan movie. That's definitely number one. I'm really excited now for Project Hail Mary since I'm hearing how good it is. Is there anything you're excited for this year, David?
Yes, I'm excited for Michael.
Oh, you are excited for Michael.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that. And also Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day is a big one too. That'd probably be my number two, right behind.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably Odyssey is one, and then Disclosure Day would probably be two. Then Dune 3 would probably be three. I haven't been the biggest Dune fan like other people, like Frank. I know he's huge into the Dune movies, but I really appreciate them more than I've actually loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Never Say Never Again was something like someone had the rights, but could have used the opening or music still. Now it's including canon, but back then it wasn't. It feels out of place.
No, what it is with Never Say Never Again was that the reason it's a remake of Thunderball is because Thunderball was originally a screenplay. It wasn't a novel, and it was being written by Ian Fleming and another guy called, I can't think of his name at the minute, but he was the guy that invented Spectre and everything. So what happened was then Ian Fleming then wrote it as a novel, and when they went to make it as a movie, he complained and said, and because his name wasn't on the title or anything, he didn't get any credit, and he sued them and he won. So that's why after Thunderball, those Connery movies, if you look at the Moore movies, they don't not allowed to use Spectre or anything anymore for years. because this other guy, what was his name? McClory, somebody McClory. So he owned the rights to Thunderball, but he didn't own the rights to Bond, but he owned the rights to Thunderball. So then they then made Never Say Never Again, which is a remake of Thunderball.
Interesting.
Yes, so that's basically why, because Eon owned the rights to Bond, and obviously everything associated with it, like the theme tune and all that business and the logo and all this. But McClory owned the rights to Thunderball, so he was able to make an unofficial Bond movie called Never Say Never Again. Well, it's the same with Casino Royale. There was a comedy version of Casino Royale made in the 60s as well. I don't think that was made by Eon. I'm not even sure if that is an official Bond movie, but I do know I literally just bought a book where I said to you, John, it was on sale, the James Bond Archives, and that has Casino Royale in there, and it has Never Say Never Again in there.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like you said, it's kind of become canon now. So other people kind of it wasn't at the time, right?
Well, I'm not sure if it's became canon, but I mean, you had like James Bond radio shows and stuff before even the first movie came out.
That's true. I actually have the first ever Bond film that came out when Bond was an American, somewhere around here on DVD. Someone sent me, so that's actually
yeah. So it's kind of like, for example, if I turn around and I say, like, take Jaws as an example. Jaws 3D is not canon, but it's still part of the franchise.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, okay. Right? Yeah, well, it is out of place, especially how they kind of corrected with 4. It kind of really is just 1, 2, and 4, really, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, it's not canon because it doesn't continue the story from 2, right?
No. And like the characters are kind of out of place compared to how they eventually are in 4. So Brand says Michael's number 1. George says 26 Mortal Kombat 2, which I am excited about. Avengers Doomsday, I'm scared, and Michael. So a lot of people are excited about Michael. I'm late to the party here, but was Arrow not announced Mortal Kombat yet? It's not an official announcement, but they put out a little teaser. So it's coming, but we just don't know when. Kind of like how we were talking about Salem's Lot. Top 3 for me this year: Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter, and Supergirl. Supergirl, I'm nervous about it, but we'll see. Could it be they're waiting for the movie to get closer? That's possible too. Is they're waiting for the second Spinal Tap live at Stonehenge? That's where we got to go, David, to do that.
Yep. So we'll have to do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, exactly, to get us both out there. Do you think we will still getting the other Bond movies on 4K Steelbook like the 5 Connerys now that Warner doesn't distribute MGM movies? See, that's what I'm scared about. Is like we got the Connery 4K Steelbooks, and I was working on the assumption that we would get the Roger Moore ones next. Somehow they'd have to fit Laserbee's one movie in there. Then we'd get the Dalton movies, then Pierce Brosnan, and we've already gotten all of the Daniel Craig movies. But now it's like, is it just going to be the Daniel Craig movies and just the Sean Connery movies? It's like it kind of feels out of place in the collection now. Is Jaws 5 canon?
Nope, Jaws 5's not canon.
From the director of Terminator 2. I'm looking forward to Scary Movie 6. That looks funny as hell. I'm very excited for that, Mr. Smelly Potato. Doesn't Mill Creek do MGM? But I don't know now how it works like with Amazon. Like the James Bond rights confuse the hell out of me.
James Bond do?
Well, like Amazon owns them now, but yet last year Warner Bros. Was allowed to put out those Connery movies on 4K. So now would Amazon license out the rest so that we can get all the other ones on 4K? But will they come in those steelbooks? Probably not. So the Connery ones might be like those, like that little window in time kind of thing where we got lucky.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I suppose that was probably agreed between Eon and Warner Brothers before Amazon bought them over.
Mm-hmm.
So Eon they're like an independent movie company. I mean, they built their empire off James Bond. I know that the girl that run it, Cubby's daughter, Barbara Broccoli, she run it for a while she run it after he died, her and her half brother. And I know that she tried to go into other endeavors. She did release other movies, but none of them were as successful as Bond. So I suppose just like we're saying about movie companies lease out you lease out the rights so physical media companies can release them. She's probably just leased them out to release them. But like you say, John, it's whether or not Amazon are going to let them do the rest now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they probably would charge an arm and a leg because they're Amazon. But it is what it is. But we've gone on for about an hour and a half. Is there anything else you want to comment on before we get out of here?
No, I think that's everything. I mean, depending on how this goes, of course, this is something that we're thinking of actually going to be doing maybe every quarter. John, is that right?
Yep, we've kicked around that idea, and we have one other live show lined up, and I want to just share with you guys who are in here right now, in case you weren't aware of what we're doing. But here is we're going to be doing our top 10 Hitchcock's films, and we're going to be
Yes.
picking from these 20 films right here. Now, we don't have a date lined up for this yet because David and I will be watching all 20 of these movies. And I don't know if how far David's gotten, and we want to make sure we watch them all, but we thought maybe you guys can watch them all too and bring your own top 10 lists. So this is the pool essentially we're going to be picking from. So if you guys want to watch along, come back when we eventually do that. Sometime. No official date yet. We're not going to put a date on it until we both watch all 20 of these movies.
Yeah. How far are you in, John? How far?
I think I'm 6 movies in right now, as far as I've gotten. Actually, I can tell you right now because I've been keeping a little ranking them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, actually, no, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of them.
6 in. I'm falling behind. I was supposed to be watching one a week, and I kind of fell behind. So
I think I'm going to take this week off, so maybe it gives you a week to catch up.
Give you maybe I'll watch one tonight. Maybe I'll watch one tonight after this live stream.
Because I have a lot lined up, and I kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the Hitchcock in this week. So if you're a little behind, that gives me an excuse to okay, I could take a week off then.
Yeah, I meant to watch one last week, and then it just didn't happen. And then I remembered at the week, I was like, oh, I need to get back and at least get back to the one a week. If I can get back to one a week, then but it's tough because so when we do the main show, to watch that, and then it takes me 2 or 3 days to take notes as well. So.
Yeah,
as I say for that.
And David really does our main show, so we'd really appreciate for people coming over from my channel if you guys actually would check out what we do on our channel over here on the Let's Talk Movies Podcast Network, because David does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to our main show, the Let's Talk Movies Podcast with John and David. He's the one who watches the movie a couple times. Basically, he walks us through the entire film from scene to scene. And that's why those shows are like 3 hours, and we don't expect you guys to watch that in one sitting. Maybe you're out walking the dog, you listen to an hour here, hour there, you listen to any podcast. I mean, I might be on a podcast for 3 days, 4 days, depending on when I'm listening to it. So we kind of work under the assumption that you guys will do that with our show, so that it's like revisiting the movie with our little commentary over everything. And David's the one who does all the heavy lifting up front, and then I edit it and put it out there.
Yeah, just if you're commuting, or you know what I mean, or doing a bit of housework, or as John says, walking the dog, or maybe you're in the bath. Yeah, I mean, we'd appreciate that, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, if it's a movie that me and you know inside out, it's easier for us to kind of bounce off. But if it's something where we've only seen a few times, we'll have to be a wee bit more methodical about it and make sure we get everything. But we were thinking of maybe lining up next month's live as well, John. The best movies of the 70s.
Yeah, that's one we're kicking around. So if you guys if you enjoyed what David and I did here today, we'll be doing another one next month. We're going to be doing one every single month on the JD Live, logo over there. So this is what it'll be. So every single month we'll do one where David and I come on here together, and we'll be talking about that. If you want to tell them, I don't know if you want to tell them or leave that just for their separate shows, like what we're doing on our other 2 shows.
Yeah, listen, because it's a live, obviously we'll just put out there what's coming up on the channel. So this Friday, John, is that right? We have our episode 3, March's edition of Axis Cinema Appreciation, which we'll be discussing Manhunter and Silence of the Lambs. And then at the end of the month, on the Let's Talk Movies podcast, we will be doing Jurassic Park.
Yes, which I'm very, very, very excited about, because Jurassic Park is both of ours very high on our Spielberg list. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. So make sure you guys are subscribed to be checking that out. That's all coming down the pipe pretty soon for the rest of March. And we want to both thank you guys all for being here with us tonight.
Yes, thank you very much for everybody that tuned in.
And hopefully you guys, throw the like. That helps, to get the word out there. Subscribe always helps as well. And, we'll see you on the next live show, or on Axis Cinema Appreciation, or just on the main podcast. And thank you guys.
Thank you.